Aloha, y'all. It is Saturday, Saturn's Day, hence the name, the 5th of December. It is a heart chakra day in Mayan dream spell. It is blue self existing monkey guided by accomplishment. And it is Anahata chakra day, a heart chakra day. So if you're going to be doing chakra chants, do them all. If you can only do one, do your heart. Do them all. Maybe do the heart twice, that kind of thing. Do the mantras, the mudras, and the color associations and the word associations, and see where this spiritual technology and perspective takes you, and you will be grateful for it. I promise you that. Today we have the Starman, which is actually what this deck is based off of. It's the Magician card. Make sure you guys can see that. So, the Starman, like I said, the namesake. I'm talking to get David DeAngelis and his wife made this book. It's his art. I'm going to get her on the podcast. He's been on twice, and then we'll get them on together. I'm just thinking out loud, Gemini Life. So, Starman, the alchemist, manifesting your reality. Ideas are communicated and brought into the physical world with ease. You have everything you need to create the world you desire. Reconfigure yourself in expressive and liberating and complex ways. The Starman, I will blow your mind. The Starman is an attractor field through which we can observe the self we believe to be true. We are being invited to see the inherent nature of the human condition and look at what has been fashioned by culture through the ages, the belief and value systems we have simply adopted. His glorious presence awakens us to another realm entirely. In that resonance, seemingly irrefutable facts are seen as fictions. We see the Starman bringing the seed of transformation to the world, carrying the weapon that compels us to self-destruct in one hand, and the golden key that unlocks our supreme potential in the other. The luminous one descending to earth with his arms outstretched, the alien Messiah. A vision of ecstatic color, light, and fire, molecular world streaming tendrils of life-giving substance, traveling through space, surrendered in time, ripples in the exosphere, his presence shimmering with ancient symmetries, waiting for the moment to reveal his power because he knows it will blow our minds. A palpable sense of creative potency hangs in the air, a hidden potential demanding to be released. Or realized, rather, sorry. The dissolving of the Starman's solid form into the golden pool of liquid light, the sheer willingness to melt himself down to be reborn as something fresh, something new, but contains all of the elements woven from the past is a powerful metaphor, which is very resonant with the astrology I'll mention in a second. We too can place the personality and the various jaded facets of ourselves into the flame of the creative fire to be reconfigured in ever more liberating, expressive, and complex ways. We must throw ourselves into the white hot flames and, despite this heat and sheer intensity, know that we can never disappear. To boldly confront the fear of destroying that which we cherish, something complete and comfortable with great intrinsic value, and yet be courageous enough to break it down. To trust the Starman as he propels us towards the possibility of discovering what we didn't know that we didn't know, revealing the raw rather components of life with all of the thoughts, frailties, passions, and anxieties which can now be transformed and recombined into something powerful, impactful, extraordinary. He knows power does not come from him, but through him, and he wields it with absolute integrity, creating something magical out of nothing. The Starman offers us the elixir, a constant visual theme and quest in my work with Bowie. How to create images that brought things to the surface to be seen, felt, and ultimately to be healed of its own destruction. We must risk our own destruction, risk our failure, and embrace what appears to be a mistake. Bowie seized upon things that would have been viewed as insignificant, and these were often the things that bore the most fruit. He wasn't afraid to pull things apart that already looked finished to reveal something unexpected and significant. When the Starman appears, it is a signal to see what elements of your life can be reinvented and rethought in order to create and reveal something extraordinary. He is calling you to discover your full creative potential. So the alchemist in this deck, or the Starman, the magician, manifest your reality. Ideas are communicated and brought into the physical world with ease. You have everything you need to create the world you desire. Reconfigure yourself in liberating, expressive, and complex ways. So it's resonant with the astrology. I forgot to mention the sun is in Sagittarius, moon is in Leo, Mercury's in Sag, Venus is in Scorpio, Mars is in Aries. All that fire is the fire of the transmutation, and the Venus in Scorpio is saying, I'm willing to transform. I love transformation. Transformation. Gotta make it up words. But the Sagittarius is saying, where can I take this thing? And the Leo moon is saying, my heart's in this. Like, I'm gonna create. It's not in a weird way. The Sagittarius is saying, the truth comes through me, and Leo moon is saying, I'm willing to be the vessel for that. Let me be a rock star of love, light, potential, alchemy, all that energy. So very resonant already. I woke up this morning at 2:30. Couldn't go back to sleep until about 6. I've been kind of meditating and doing weird stuff, but watching, I think it's called The Cave of Forgotten Dreams or something like that by Werner Herzog. I've seen it before, but it's about a cave in France that's got art from 35,000 plus years old. It's the art, the alchemy that was transforming their minds, blowing their minds. A very interesting documentary. It's free online if you want to look it up and watch it. It's great. So what we have is the Senescal. I have no clue what this is. I've never seen this card. Very beautiful. Very beautiful indeed. So, and hopefully I'm saying this right. Seneschal. Seneschal. Senescal. Number 12. So this is new for me. Is this 12? Oh, this is the 12 of Earth. Okay, I was like, wait, what? So the 12 of Earth is page... It's a 12, but I just didn't see the elemental symbol. 180. All right. The Seneschal? Senescal? I don't know how to pronounce this. 12 of Earth. Keyword: servant, administrator, mediator, justice, law, organized, trustworthy, and loyal. Key phrases: service to a higher purpose. Sagittarius, right? Even what the magician was saying, it's coming through me. It's not me ultimately. It's through me. Loyalty to authority. Jupiter, Pluto, and Capricorn I want to say this. Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are in Capricorn, so this is very resonant to this. Loyal to authority. Speaking for others. Using your power. Is your power real or borrowed? Following the rules or directions given. Using personal power wisely. Right? You are an alchemist. Are you making the best magic? Are you being like a Gandalf? Or are you being a Saruman? Question everything. Blind loyalty makes one blind. Meaning the Seneschal, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'll say Seneschal. The Seneschal of Earth symbolizes the service to king and country. The Seneschal is a trusted servant who has access to and control over all within his lord's domain. He, while being of noble blood himself, is in service to and speaks for the one above him. We are conduits of the divine, representatives of the divine here on earth, ambassadors, if you will. His duties are many. He is respected by some and feared by others, for he holds the keys to both the treasury and the dungeon. He is both judge and mediator within the halls and the lands of the kingdom. He upholds the law and metes out justice in the name of his lord or lady. The Seneschal also holds and controls his master's wealth, giving payment to those who are owed and collecting taxes from those who owe. The Seneschal is powerful, but his power is borrowed and dependent upon his willingness to follow the orders of those above him without question. If his loyalty falters or falls under suspicion, he would lose everything, even his life. Venus in Scorpio. It's like, you're going to be my advisor, but if you double-cross me, I'll kill you. The Seneschal of Earth represents a person in service not to the many, but to one. His role is multifaceted, and with the Sun and Mercury and Sag, it's like service to truth from the heart, Moon and Leo. His role is multifaceted, and every task is performed with care. He is the master organizer and possesses both intelligence and a quick mind. He is a person who sets aside leadership aspirations in order to be the trusted representative of the one who leads. His position places great responsibility on his shoulders, but he is committed and dedicated. The Seneschal symbolizes a willingness or necessity to obey the rules or directions of those in charge and to put aside personal beliefs and opinions. This card asks that you use your personal power wisely. Your alchemy, your magic card, right? Your magician. If you have the ear and favor of those who are in positions of power, you in turn have the power to bring happiness or harm. What do you choose to do? We must choose wisely, because we can create and destroy with this power, and hopefully we're creating. I mean, destruction is an act of creation, but hopefully we're not just like sabotaging our lives and the lives of others as an alchemist. Hopefully we're being wise advisors, wise stewards, and ultimately benefic, not malefic, to the world around us, which is ultimately us. So let's go ahead and get a Galactic Heritage card. So we've got Atlantean Era, which is the very magic. I mean, this is both those cards are kind of this card. It's like the Magician. We've entered a certain kind of masculine, like this Seneschal card 12 of Earth was talking about, like, no fucking around kind of Saturnian energy, representative of the king, that kind of stuff, steward of the bank, and that kind of male thinking, even the male magician, right? The magician card. Um, we used to come from a very, different place, Lemuria, basically, and now we're in Atlantean era. Oops, Atlantean era. And this era is actually coming to an end, the end of pharaonic rule and stuff like that. We're transmuting it and transforming it, but we're not done yet officially. Atlantis. Earth 48 Atlantean era past timeline. This era, spanning approximately the past 13,000 years, represents the masculine principle in a planetary cycle. This cycle is often represented by polarity, war, ignorance, and confusion about spiritual identity. It is a time of darkness and sleep. Humanity is moving out of this cycle now, and we are seeing the old ways crumbling. Do not be discouraged by what you see around you. Consider it a sign that humanity is awakening again. You have had many significant lives in this era and are releasing karmic patterns that you've held for a very long time. Continue your spiritual work, free yourself. Many have called Atlantis a continent, but we refer to it in this deck as an era, specifically an era of Earth's past that took place within the past 13,000 years. The Atlantean era was one of high polarity, mentality, and a movement away from the connection with spirit and with nature. Many may see the Atlantean era as one of great scientific advancement, but its qualities are more reflective of the emphasis of one polarity, the masculine, more than the other one, feminine. So Lemuria was very feminine, then we went to masculine, and now we're coming into a balanced place. It is what it is. During this Atlantean era, the Orion energy brought to Earth is being healed, but sometimes this takes the form of tremendous conflict. Earth is currently at a very important point in its development, the time when the Orion drama is healing and the integration of polarities is occurring. If this card comes up in your reading, it could mean many things. It may refer to a specific life you lived in the Atlantean era in which polarity was a theme, but it could also have a more personal meaning. It may also refer to the integration of your inner polarities. That's the inner alchemy that we have to be doing. This card asks you to examine your own life and your beliefs. Do you feel more comfortable with one polarity more than another? Ultimately, our spiritual evolution depends on our ability to integrate these internal polarities as a first priority. Only then do we see the external polarities healing as a result. As within, so without, as above, so below. The magician in the traditional Rider-Waite is showing as above, so below with his hands. Look at the other cards to add dimension as to how this card fits into the whole message of your reading. So I do think we're kind of having a moment of masculinity. I mean, this is very masculine energy, right? And it's the fire, between the fire of Sagittarius, Leo, Sun and Moon, respectively, Mercury and Sagittarius, and Mars and Aries with the Venus Scorpio, coupled with the Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto and Capricorn. Uranus is in Taurus. It's a lot of heavy masculine energy right now. We're kind of finishing up the patriarchy, you could say. And I think that's going to cause a lot of ascension, a lot of magic, a lot of alchemy, but it's also going to require us to be very honorable and dutiful and true and stewards of our minds, bodies, hearts, resources, right? That's kind of the end of the dark magician is over, right? The magician still is here forever, but instead of being like Jafar would be like this kind of negative polarity of like the keeper of the, like, in Aladdin, if you've seen Disney's Aladdin, Jafar is like, I'm your right-hand man, but I want to usurp you and I want to become the sultan, right? That's kind of this dark energy, this masculine, penetrative, conquering and commanding energy. But there's a better way to do that too. You don't have to be, you can be loyal, kind of like Alexander Hamilton was to George Washington in Hamilton, if you've seen that. He didn't try to usurp George, he was just trying to be the best steward he could. Ironically, Alexander Hamilton was a Capricorn. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I'm kind of all over the place. My sleeping schedule. The Schumann resonance has been off the fucking charts. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but that's been affecting my sleep for sure. I took 30 milligrams of melatonin the other day. Woke up at 4 or something like that. I took 20 milligrams last night. Woke up at 2, so it's not mattering. And this is hilarious because the Chauveau cave that I'm talking about, this Werner Herzog movie called The Cave of Lost Dreams or whatever it is. Check it out. Has rhinos in France, South France. They had rhinos and leopards and bears. It's 35,000-year-old cave art. So basically, our relatives from, as he would say, an abyssally long time ago. 35,000 years. We can't even get our head around that. But they were having visions and interacting with rhinos. I had a baby rhino in my dream a few nights ago. So moderation, and I think that's something that's good. It's like magic is great. Immoderate magic is not great. Like, this is over polarized masculinity, and this is like We can be conservative without being like constrictive. We can be, you know, uh, judicious without being like legalistic, right? So this is number 32, the rhinoceros, moderation. Here we go. Whoa. Hopefully you guys can see this. Jeez, this coloring, that's better. All right, so moderation. Seek moderation in all things. Find the middle path. Not everything is an extreme choice of black versus white, which is what the Atlantean era was trying to convince us. Like, go black, not white. White was Lemuria. Now we're like, go gray. Gandalf the Gray, or whatever. Gray Jedi. Being passionate about something being passionate about something is positive, but to be obsessed, Venus and Scorpio, Leo Moon, may not be. Leave behind what you no longer need. Mars and Aries, like just keep moving, right? Mythos. The Hindu Vedic god of fire, Akani, rides a rhinoceros with a horn so large it clears the path for all. It is said that it is he who is the source of all passion and fire in the world, and that this fire can either burn for good or be out of control. This is just like what we were talking about with the Starman. It's like you're going to burn, but it's like, is the fire helping you or harming you? Akane gives the fires to purify blessings. He gives the fire that a marrying couple walk around to signify the home, and he gives the fire that cooks food for nourishment. He can also give the kind of fire that causes a rise in jealousies and rage, and destroys relationships until they are ash. This kind of fire can burn the countryside or your own home down. Akane challenges you to be moderate and to find the middle path and to see the balance. Animal. There are 5 species of rhino left in the world, and many are all in danger of becoming extinct. This is mainly because of the trade in rhino horns, or so-called medicinal purposes, and habitat loss. Asia, specifically Vietnam, is the largest market for rhino horn. Although the killing of rhino for the horns is illegal, poaching has become so prevalent that rhino numbers have sunk because they think there's magic, right? They're trying to perform alchemy with this shit, but it's not even real. The last male white rhino died in Kenya in 2018. In the wild, adult rhinos have no natural predators other than man, although baby rhinos do get taken by wild dogs, crocodiles, and big cats. Rhinos are distinct for their shape. They look like they're wearing boxy armor, and for their horns, which are primarily made of keratin, a protein found in fingernails and hair. They are a big, heavy animal averaging about 700 kilograms, yet they are mostly gentle and quite methodical in the way they visit the same place each day, making it very easy to kill them. Rhinos have poor eyesight but a wonderful sense of smell. They also have a very sensitive prehensile lip that enables them to feel which plant it is when they are feeding, so they can kind of like be like, oh, that's a prickly bush. That means it's good berries or whatever they're doing. The magic of the rhino is a beautiful dance between strength, power, and moderation. This is an incredibly powerful animal, and yet this is balanced with calm and restraint. We're magicians, right? But are we being like restrained to service for something higher than our will? Like Aleister Crowley's whole thing was like thy will be done, right? And it is that way in a level, but it's like that's where dark magic comes in, black magic. Atlantis fell because of dark magicians, basically. Check it out. Symbology: horn, fiery god of riding a rhino, and fire. Status critically endangered. It's funny to me that Atlantis came out because tomorrow we're having Murumatu on, who's a walk-in, who's done a part 1 of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and Thoth the Atlantean is coming up. He's like the Hermes Trismegistus, the magician alchemist of all, right? That kind of energy. So that's the energy we're getting, being moderate. It's like you can have magic, and it's good to know like science, and it's good to know the world around you in a masculine way, but it's like don't go so far that you pull a Hitler and try to conquer everything around you. That's detrimental to you and them ultimately. It's not the right look. The thing that comes to mind is the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Land Before Time, where it's just like, yeah, it just wants to eat, so we vilify it, and it's like, oh my gosh, watch out, Littlefoot, and it's like, oh, this thing is evil, but like it was, and in Fantasia, it's like that dinosaur wants like more than it needs. It's very, protrusive and not balanced in its economy of carnivorism or being a carnivore. We got Cindy Sherman. There's an urban legend that Cindy Sherman can go unrecognized at her own exhibitions, even though she's surrounded by photographs of, quote, herself. In sophisticated costume, makeup, and prosthetics, Sherman is the foundation for the wildly different characters, time periods, and stereotypes explored in her most known work, which tends to destabilize expectations of femininity and identity. Once again, we're kind of getting a counterbalance to this, but the Atlantean is like masculine, and she's like, what is a female, right? Sherman shows equal conviction in all the archetypes she portrays, whether the Hollywood actress, modern suburban family woman, or clown. Her work has been used to train law enforcement personnel in facial recognition in cases of clown impersonation. But I don't think that's very funny, though. Don't be yourself, be yourselves. You are like the moon phases. There's so many levels to you, right? But you want to be moderate with those transformations. Be your many selves without overly committing to any one of them. Be moderate. You are an alchemist. You can transform yourself from lead to gold, from shit to shinola, as they say, right? They're gonna go. You can make yourself all sorts of things. He's holding the elements around him. You can be more fiery, more watery, whatever, right? And you have the power to do that. But are you being a steward to the highest degree? Are you being of service as a vessel for the one creator through you, kind of thing, right? Um, when we start putting ourselves above others and above God and above life and above the balance, we become Sith lords. We become, Sith. This is like Atlantis reminds me a little of Senator Palpatine turning into the Emperor. Like he's just using cunning and mind and logic and government to get his way, right? In a way, he's like the Jafar energy of this, the negative polarization of this 12 of Earth. We need to be moderate with our magic, moderate with our fire. That doesn't mean be afraid. You want to play with magic and see where it goes, but also respecting it, right? Respecting limits, respecting laws of magic. In Narnia, the White Witch does all this shit to Aslan, and Aslan's like, I know deep magic, bitch. So basically, I can be resurrected. I was respecting rules that you didn't understand. Whereas she was like, I'm the White Witch, and I want my way, and I want to rule, and I'm going to take you out. She was a very masculine female, if you want to put it that way. So very Atlantean energy, right? Moderation would have done her good. She has many phases, as do you. Like, she wasn't always that way. If you read the books, you'll know what I'm talking about. The Magician's Nephew stuffs. Don't be yourself, be yourselves. And with Sagittarius, Sun, and Mercury, with the moon in Leo, we're being our true selves at any phase. Like the moon, when it's full, is truly full. When the moon is new, it's truly new. When the moon is a quarter, whatever, it's truly that phase. So you have many phases within you. So honor that, but and ultimately hold on loosely to the identities. Like sometimes you're a mom, sometimes you're a daughter more. Sometimes, you're always these things. Sometimes you're, you see what I'm saying? I don't have to get into every example, but if all you do is say I'm a mother or a father, and then you don't look at anything else, you might get very distorted reality lens, and it could be a detriment to you or others. We have a stone here. You can quantumly entangle with this. Dang, this just got really dark. Quantumly entangle with this lepidolite. Lepidolite. What it is? Lepidolite is a lithium-infused mica with rose and lavender hued spa vibes. Who needs it? The perpetually frazzled, the cerebral type A workaholics. So all that Capricorn energy, also all this fire energy, where it's like we're burning out. Workaholics, are you doing the great work too much? Are you the magician going too hard in the paint? Atlantis style. Where to put it? In a bubble bath, on the meditation cushion, in the fetal position, when the pressure to be successful, fit, and fabulous 24/7, 365 is too much. When to use it? When freaking out. Or to prevent that, put the phone on Do Not Disturb, hold lepidolite in each palm, and relax, and just let yourself be for 5 minutes. Relax the muscles between your shoulder blades, lengthen your breaths, and let go of all the drama. Leo Moon. Drama. It wasn't yours to begin with anyway. Enter your chill zone, right? And the chill zone, going within, I pull hexagrams in the morning. If you look at my Facebook, I post them there. The daily hexagram was the 33rd, and it was retreat. We need to retreat into ourselves because we are the universe, so we can go within and know the alchemy of that which out. When we go within, we can be better stewards of that which is, quote, without. Government, relationships, physical things, right? We don't want to just take that perspective and too far, though. Manipulating others and their free will is like the big taboo. That's what we're learning, right? Whereas people are doing, whether it's predictive programming in movies or vaccines that you don't know anything about the effects are, intrusion of free will is a problematic thing. We need to be moderate. We need to show people options and say this is an option if you want it. If you want freedom, have it, but don't go into a country to give them freedom at the gunpoint, right? Don't be yourself. Be yourselves. There's many phases to who you are, and ultimately entering your chill zone with lepidolite will allow you to enter every phase essentially in an honorable way, honoring it. So let's go ahead and play some music. I actually didn't think I was going to play my electric, so I've got to set up some stuff. For some reason, I didn't set anything up. but it's easily remedied. So you'll just see me plugging a thing or two in really quick. Oh gosh, come on now. Hopefully you're all doing well out there on the Saturn's Day. I also realized that the microphone on this is what's picking up the music that you're going to hear, and the microphone seems to distort in odd ways when the jams get real hot. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So with the Magician card, we're doing alchemy. We're doing real shit here. And hopefully we're doing it in such a way that we're being stewards with the 12 of Earth of our power. Not just blowing things up because we can, but more, building for the world, building for God. So let's jam. I've got this diffuser my fiance gave me, and it's really cool. If you've never had aromatherapy stuff, I've been around it, but I just didn't care about it, and now I've got it, and it's like, this stuff's great. Got eucalyptus blowing in my face. So, Magician. Good idea. So, with the magician card, we can kind of make magic, we can kind of do weird shit, but we need to be of service to things that are bigger than ourselves. That is the 10 of Earth. It's our will, our will be done within the context of the will of the Creator, if that makes sense. Don't overstep the boundaries. Sometimes, doing what you want instead of what's really right for the world and not being moderate can bring a lot of suffering. Though you're going to have many phases, so even heroes make mistakes, even villains can be redeemed, right? So don't be yourself, be yourselves. Know that everything you see outside of yourself is yourself in that sense. And tap into lepidolite, into entering your chill zone. Get into your inner alchemy. Get into your inner alchemy for service and order, for the highest good of all and yourself. Don't just put yourself first. Don't disclude yourself ultimately either. It's about moderation, both and. Be your many selves, not just one self. Ultimately, getting into your chill zone and knowing your Zen, I know Kung Fu mode with lepidolite. Lepidolite. Who knows how to pronounce that? Holler for readings if you want. The podcast has been great. Check it out. Team Rabbit Hole Podcast. And yeah, just know that you're magical and others are too. So you have things to do, as do they. Honor each other, honor yourself, honor the process, and have fun. Adios.